Hello and welcome to Nothing Happens. I'm Dave.
I'm Tom. We have a lot of opinions, but no facts.
Alright, so I'm coming into this bloody podcast now, no knowledge of what we're supposed to be talking about, may know nothing about this, so I'm going to sound like a gibbering idiot for all intents and likelihood throughout this. So come on,
Not
then, Tom.
at all. Not at all.
What is it?
This is kind of old hack now, but this would be a really fun thing to discuss because you're much more of a bigger fan than I am of the Batman Beyond TV series.
Okay.
Like I kind of only got like halfway through season 1.
Right.
And not saying that I didn't like it, but you know much more about the lore and about that world than I do.
All right.
And so I thought this would be a really interesting topic, seeing as you don't know about this. But on Kevin Smith's podcast a bit ago,
Wait, is he lost recently? I was like, Jesus Christ.
right? Oh, a lot. Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah,
amazing
yeah.
what veganism can do, isn't it?
Is that what he's done now?
Yeah.
Oh,
after his heart attack, he went vegan.
Well, the thing was, it wasn't so much the heart attack that worried me. It was when he said that he basically prolapsed his anus because he shat too hard because he had no fiber in his diet.
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, my God, eat a vegetable.
The anal sphincter. Yeah. God. He said on his podcast, Fat Man Beyond, he just pitched this idea that he would love to direct or write, I can't remember, a Batman Beyond film with Michael Keaton as the Batman as Bruce Wayne, training up a young Terry McGinnis. You know, which the internet at the time kind of exploded a bit about. It was like, oh my God, you have to make this.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, pretty much. So I just wanted us to talk about it, even though it's kind of been debunked a bit now. That it's probably not going to happen. I think it's still a very interesting prospect to talk about because there's so many questions to sort of unwrap with it. One, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I think that it's a brilliant time for this film to happen because we're getting this Joker origin film, which is clearly sort of like an Elseworld thing. Yeah. So why not do?
Yeah, is that entirely a standalone thing now? Because it can't.
Surely it is.
Well, because I'm going to say because you can't have. I'm sorry, but no one's going to mistake Joaquin Phoenix for. God.
Heath Ledger?
No, Methody McTwatface. Oh,
all right, mate. Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Jared
Leto. Let him go.
Oh, God.
Yes. No. It's fine. It's fine.
No one's going to mistake those two for the same thing.
Moving right along. So my point with this was going to be: would you prefer to have Kevin Smith write it or direct it?
Write it.
Fair. Well, that was easy. And also,
I mean, I'm sorry, but what has he directed recently that's any good?
Well, he doesn't really do films anymore,
No.
but he has. I don't think that he's quite right for a comic book director. I think he's very good for a writer.
Yes, I know.
So we go with that. I think Michael Keaton is obviously the perfect age. And after seeing him as...
I think he could be aged slightly more. He's not, because the problem...
He's not quite as decrepit as...
the thing is, he's the perfect age for the opening segment of the Batman Beyond animated things, where he's just about old enough where he goes, I can no longer do this anymore. But then the problem is, after that, you've sort of jumped quite a few years, and I think you need to you need to fake age him up like 10, 15 years before that works.
But this is the discussion that I wanted to do is how would it, so with your knowledge of like that universe, which villain would you have?
Blight.
So you definitely go with Blight.
Well, I mean, he's the obvious choice because he's the most linked to Terry. It's his fault, you know. It's like all the connections of why his father died, and although technically he wasn't his father, but that's a whole other fucking story. But yeah, it is like he's very much the main villain of what, 2 seasons, or is it just the one?
I think it's just the one, because from what I remember, there's the whole thing at the end of because he's hiding in a submarine,
and then he all goes nuclear. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like he is like a more modern version of the Atomic Skull. That is basically what his character is.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that he was more like a Lex Luthor with powers. Really, is more.
Visually, he looks like the Atomic Skull.
Yeah.
But more. You know, he is very much more of a not not as good as Lex Luthor because
Well, of
obviously
course
it's like,
not,
yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Lex.
But it is like, yeah, I think Blight would be the obvious choice to go for because it's the most connection with the new Batman. It has the biggest arc of the character of what he wants to do and so forth. With the other ones, I mean, you've got some really interesting villains in there. You've got what's her name? Is it
Ink?
Ink would be really fun.
Ink would be great.
But once again, she is, she's hired help though.
Well, that
you could
well,
have
that's the
her
question.
as one of the extra
Exactly,
villains, but I
exactly.
wouldn't have her as the
if
main.
you were going to have Ink, who would you cast as her?
Ooh, God. Okay, so Femme Fatale. Who's popular nowadays? I mean, you've got obvious choices like Scarlett Johansson, but that's a bit too from what she's
She's
already
in the Marvel universe though, as well. She can't do a crossover.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
Oh, that'd be an interesting one. Which because obviously you've got different Marvel people in different films, like Chris Evans was in the Fantastic Four ones, and then he's now.
Yeah.
But you need to know like what the crossover would be actually. What actors have been in both universes in what roles?
Oh, who was it who said that like if they bring the Fantastic Four into the Marvel universe, Chris Evans should still play the Human Torch, but it should be like so half his face is painted like the Human Torch, and then the other half he has the Captain America, so he just has to do side on the whole time.
Oh, I love that.
I thought that was brilliant. I forget who it was that said that now, but yeah, they deserve a medal. But anyway, getting back to the Batman Begin thing. I'd tell you what. Okay, so let's just quickly go on story before we get into casting.
Okay.
So obviously the origin, you would sort of have to do the origin basically, but
it depends on how much of the origin you do, because not only do you have Terry meeting Bruce and like how he gets the bat suit and and then their relationship developing, but do you go deeper than that? Do you do the how Amanda Waller manipulated?
I think that would be too much for the first film.
I agree. I think because that is a reveal that happens later on. It doesn't really affect the actual meeting between Bruce and Terry.
No, I think for me, I think those.
Sorry, I don't know if I should explain more about what that is, or just kind of gloss over it.
I think let's gloss over it.
For those who know, well done. For those who don't, then
you've got research.
Yeah,
to
you're
do.
going to have to do a bit of research. But it is a great episode to watch when you find out the whole, especially because it has many callbacks like Mask of the Phantasm and things like that.
Yeah, it's got
really good.
It is very, very, very good. But I was for me. My instant thing is, okay, so you, in terms of set-wise as well, you set it in the Burton 89 universe.
Ooh.
So you set it in that.
But 30 years in the future.
So it's that universe, but teched.
Okay.
I think you could do some great stuff visually with that. Like, how you could adjust that Batmobile to be a flying one as well. Could look fantastic.
Well, weirdly, the Batwing from the from the '89 universe is not that different.
I forgot about that. You could just you could bring that back, but just have modifications on it. That would be good.
They look exactly, the actual shape of both of them are both pretty much exactly the same. You've just got one that's super teched out on the inside.
And because the Joker's dead in this universe as well, you could even do that storyline as well of that film. Well, that he's actually implanted, even though you couldn't do it in a Robin, but you could just do it in a civilian.
I don't know, because this is the problem. I don't know.
That would be a sequel, though.
But this is the problem. I don't know if you just want, because all you're basically doing is what Disney's doing at the moment, which is doing a live action version of an existing animated film.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Is for the first one, because you'd have it with the training. So those first 2 episodes of Batman Beyond, you can just take those. That's your blueprint.
Yeah,
I think it's all there. I think it's all done well. But obviously, you need to flesh it out more for a film. But how do you do that? You bring in a hired help like Ink, and you also do much more of the training. So you don't. So you have sort of maybe the. I mean, obviously, I'm not a scriptwriter, so I don't know how you could pace it as well.
Well, you do have, because one of the arcs of the Batman Beyond universe is that Terry goes to, I forget her name now, but it's like an elderly Japanese woman who fights with a katana effectively. And it's part of that is like the training and stuff like that.
Well, part of his training, he goes to the Justice League as well, but obviously, that's that's a different one.
Well, yeah, but then again, if you want to have, because you've got the future Justice League, you've got what's his name, the kid of Hawk of Hawk Girl and
and Hawkman.
And no, the Green Lantern. It's
yeah.
I remember. Forget his brain's gone numb now, but yeah.
I know who you mean. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think that in terms of the training though, because that's something as well that we never got in Batman Forever. We never got Robin's training in that. It was just here's a suit, go have fun, blah blah blah. So, but in the Batman Beyond one, Terry steals the suit.
Well, there is a really interesting training montage in Batman Forever, which is where Terry goes up against Two-Face and all these kind of things, but in a holographic representation. At least it's either holographs or
that's the Batman Beyond.
That's the Batman. Yeah. So
yes, I remember that. Yes,
it's either robots or holographic representation. I can't remember, but it was really interesting where you have like these villains come back again, but in this, and it would have been a really lovely callback as well.
That could have been a very good callback, but also as well we could have done Billy D. Williams.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
So even if it was just a still,
exactly. Yeah. Instead of freaking, because it could have very much just been like, right, the two original Batman films, these happened, and then the other ones were just kind of like, not only are we ignoring them, we're actually going with what we would have done instead of
you could do Danny DeVito as the Penguin again, but slightly different, because if you perceive Batman Returns as Earth 2, then rather than him being all swaddling, he could be already sophisticated in this one. So it's just slightly different.
So you have him more like he was in the new animated series rather than the...
I feel that there's so much you could do with this film, and I honestly think that it would be... it would be fantastic. Then, for me, like thinking about it, the main problem is if you're going to take those first two episodes, the big thing in that is that Terry finds out Bruce's secret and he steals the suit in order to stop Powers. But you'd have to find a way around that in the film. That if Bruce is actually training this guy, does he actually train him in the film, or does does he train him after he's stolen the suit? Does he train him before he stole the suit so that he's training him and he eventually gets fed up and is like, you know what, I'm ready? And
but you could actually completely skip out the training in the first film. The first film could be quite, in chronology of it could be shortened down to literally, he steals the suit, these things happen, and these events are kind of played
So it's
out.
more establishing the world.
Exactly, yes. And then obviously, and it's more of a spur of the moment, but it's a very short time frame you're working with. And then in the second film, you can sum up quite a lot, and things can be resolved in that film in some way.
And you could do a short version of the Joker one as well, the Joker Returns.
Well, I was more thinking in the second film that you could then have, right, you fucked off with my suit and you pissed about with it and that kind of thing. Now you're in my game now, and you said you want to come back and you want to be Batman. Let's do some fucking training. Yeah. No, we could do a total, what's it called, The Last Jedi with this. It'd be great.
Yeah. We're not gonna. Who was it I was ranting to? Oh yeah, that was it.
I hurt my own brain there.
Yeah. The other. Oh god. I mean the other. Yeah. The other night I went over to a friend's house for dinner, and she's a big Star Wars fan, and we had a brief talk about Last Jedi, and this is again a thing for another episode, which I will do later. But there's parts of that film that make The Force Awakens, just like key plot points of that, obsolete. It undermines it.
Yeah, oh god,
continuously. It wasn't enough for you to fuck up your own film. You had to fuck up someone else's film beforehand to the extent where we now have to get that person back to solve
to do
everything.
Damage control.
Yes.
And that is all the third film is going to be. The third film is just basically going, what, you thought it was this? No, we've got this guy in now. And it's just,
real slight like side skew tangent on this. So episode 9 comes out this year.
Yeah, great.
And yeah, exactly. That's exactly my feeling. Is like, do I care? You know what? Out of everything that's coming out this year, I'm glad it's at the end of the year, because it's the last thing I want to see, to be honest. Yeah. After The Last Jedi, the next thing is the last thing I want to see. It's just, I can't tell if it's that I'm just too old to care about Star Wars now.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, I won't have that. It's because the last film was so fucking bad. I remember the first time I went to go see it, I was like, And then I saw it a second time, and I was like,
almost went supersonic.
It was like the second time I saw it, I was like, right, I've already been disappointed, so fine, let's just focus on the good stuff. And then I went to go see it a third time, and I was
You're
like,
talking about this
no.
like this is like that person that you just keep going back to when you're drunk.
Oh
It's
god,
like,
yeah.
You know, or
Yeah.
it's like that takeaway that you know is bad, but you just can't stop yourself.
It's just it's just offensive. To be fair, not the thing I was most disappointed by last year, but still.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
back on then. So we've established that we can do this as an extension of 89, extension of that universe, which I think you could even just because if you look at the sets from that,
you could have like a lovely picture of Michael Gough in a frame as well, just just on the side.
Well,
just
yeah,
as
you
like,
totally
there
could.
he is, and it's just
Yeah.
like, yes, we he's
well,
gone,
you could do. I mean, it's so many,
and
but
it's Michael Gough.
yeah, but the thing with that is, with setting it in this, you could do, and you know that Kevin Smith would do that as a writer as well, that he would be so faithful to the original source material, and also would, there's like Billy D. Williams being Two-Face and stuff, so much stuff that fans wanted to see going forward from that, you could even put in, even if it's just, you know, Bruce had, so you could see Nightwing suits, you could see Robin suits, like extra, like in that cave and stuff, and how else that cave was built.
I was just thinking about recasting as well, because wasn't it supposed to be Robin Williams that was supposed to be the Riddler as well?
Ooh,
Wasn't
well,
that
that's
something-
that. Yeah,
No,
that,
no.
I mean,
Obviously, yeah.
It's all. I mean, not that I'm against that, but there was he was really used and burnt by Warner Brothers. Like,
Really?
essentially, sort of how it goes. It was that he said he'd never work with them again because he showed interest, I think, in the Joker, and but then but loads of actors did. But Warner Brothers used his interest in order to try and attract other people, and so they. I forget quite how it is now, but there is an article on it where he was basically burnt by them because they kind of said it's yours, but they only ever got his name associated with it to get other people's interest, and then just basically picked whoever, and then they did that again with the Riddler.
Oh,
So,
really?
So they did it to him twice.
I mean, if you're gonna cast, Robert Williams as a role, he's a Riddler. He's not a Joker. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's definitely not a Joker.
No.
To be honest, I don't.
I'm sorry. Just Jack Nicholson's eyebrows above anything else. It's like, that's just.
They're always above everything else. I mean, I personally, I think
He
it's
would not have
bad.
been my number one. A guy.
Very well put. They do that. They reference that in Arkham City.
Do
I
they?
say, yeah, it's right. It annoys me so much when people say, "Oh yeah, like the Arkham games, they're such like a good homage to the Nolan universe." It's like, mate, you're high. You do not know your Batman at all. There is no reference to the Nolan universe in the Arkham universe at all. They reference 89 all the time, to the point where Two-Face, when you're doing him as the boss fight as Catwoman at the end, he literally says, "We both want her dead. The one who gets it gets to be my right hand guy." He actually says that. He quotes it pretty much. It's like, and when he rescues Vicky Vale, he does it with the line launcher, because that's how he rescues her in the film. Everyone else he rescues with the grapple gun, even though the line launcher would make more sense in situations, but with Vicky Vale he does it with the line launcher. The bell falling down the tower in the first game, and it's all there. And if you think that Nolan's universe is in there, then you're a fucking idiot.
I suppose you could say it would be the tank car.
Yeah, but we don't talk about it now.
No, okay.
Right. Anyway, getting back to it. So, so we have sort of like our established universe. We have sort of like the basic plot of
How you'd have main villain and sub villains effectively, because there's a few, or at least sub henchmen within that. Because Ink is a very interesting, as she is very much a mercenary.
Would you have the Joker gang in there? Because that, I mean, I like the idea of them.
Weirdly, I think it would make more sense to have a Penguin gang.
Really?
Because of how it was. If you're going from the 1980, from the 89 and then the 92, I think the term.
Yeah, but if wait a minute.
Because they were also clowns.
They were also clowns,
and they were a gang. I don't know why, but it's like in my head,
But
it
it-
would
but-
make more sense to have a homage from that, but then maybe make it somehow Jokerish. But that was, I remember watching the Batman Beyond the TV series and thinking, you guys are more like the clowns from Joker's thing in this.
Yeah, but I did it.
From
Yeah, but
Penguin's
I.
thing in this.
Yeah, but I did like. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but I did like the choice in '89 to just have the Joker's goons just wear jackets. I thought that was good. That there's just sort of like a uniform, and so it's not, because it would have been too much clown.
But it also, I don't think the Joker gang. This is the problem. So a Joker gang based on the Joker from the animated series works. I don't think it makes, if we are doing this thing, which is the 1989 one, I don't
which
think
is not 92 as well, because this is the thing within our law. So because we're in control of this.
Okay, yeah.
So because I'm coming from the point of view that Batman Returns and Batman '89
are two
they're
separate.
they're two different worlds.
Yeah.
So you can't really include 92.
Okay, so we're only springing this off from the 1989.
We're only springing it off 89.
So yeah, I don't think a Joker gang from that universe really works unless you had it as like a, I don't know, a piece of spray graffiti or something.
So they're just reference. It's just an Easter egg.
Actually, I know technically they can't be. Well, they can be, but technically it was the Joker gang that killed Terry's father in the opening episode.
No, it's not.
But you can revamp it in some way, I guess.
You could easily do it as you can easily do that as just a gang, though.
Yeah,
like any gang.
Yeah.
And actually, that's the more interesting thing, is that in that universe, which gang could you have as like a spin-off one? Like, so in terms of like the Joker gang is sort of the obvious one, but if you had to choose another villain to do it as, which villain would you choose?
Well, that's why I would go with Penguin.
I would go with Riddler, because
Riddler gang.
Okay. Now just hear me out on this,
Okay.
because I think that uniform you could do very simply as just hoodies with a question mark like spray painted on them. So then within that you've already got graffiti, so they've already got their tag.
Yeah.
And also in terms of, I mean, he's not quite hardcore enough, I give you that, to have that sort of gang. But it's more the.
But it's remember as well that we are going with, if we're very much saying like it's the 1989 film this is sprung up of, and you can have elements of the 1992. I'm not including Schumacher in this.
No. But that's why though you could maybe Two-Face then, because then you can reference Billy D. Williams more as Two-Face. So maybe that, because Riddler's a bad idea thinking about it now. I was just thinking more visually.
But it's also, it's like, this is the problem. It's like, what springs a gang? So, like the idea of, like anarchy and all that kind of thing, it makes the mind up of, like, your mind will think of something like, a gang that can emulate the idea of that kind of thing. But there's not really anything that Two-Face is mafia. Two-Face is, if you're going to emulate it, it would be from something in...
It is the Joker then. Well, then it is the Joker. Like, you just sort of do it as the Joker. If anything, it's his thugs that weren't rounded up, and they're still... So if the original members still have those jackets from '89.
Yeah.
So like the original founding members, it's like the presidents and all of them, they wear those jackets, and the rest of them just have to they could use that same logo as well. The one of his head in the spiral.
Oh yeah.
That's their logo. You could do it, man. That would be good. I think personally. Of course, I think that is my idea.
No. So, the problem is we're kind of focusing on a very small area of.
Oh yeah, that's fine. We've got plenty of time to talk about the rest. But for me, these are the details that make a film, though. Obviously, core, good story and characters and a decent script. And a good cast also make this stuff, but I feel that
so I'm also trying to think of, like, because obviously you're saying that we would have Michael Keaton, and then he would be the age that he is now, but in the initial segment where he almost shoots a gun at someone.
Would you have that initial segment?
I wouldn't have it exactly the same way as it is then, but I do think it would be important to kind of set it up in the same way, which is now that Batman has this, because you need to know that Batman is no longer wanting to be Batman. And I think that would be an important, or at least find a way of incorporating the idea of why these things work.
There's a big thing here, actually, that I can't believe that we haven't addressed sooner, which is the look of the suit.
Oh, okay.
Right, so this is...
Here's a 2.2 and I missed the cape, but not bad, not bad.
Excellent points. I mean, for me, thinking about it, and I know it's a cop-out, but how the Iron Man suit, the Mark II one, how it is in the Avengers...
Which is the Mark II
It's
one?
the one that he gets in Iron Man... I think it's the one that he gets in Iron Man 2 and that he has in the first Avengers film. It's the one with the
triangle, right.
So forget about the triangle, but you know how... Side note, I really hated in Infinity War how his suit is like nanotech that shows off
nanobots.
Nanobots that
yeah.
shows off all his curves and stuff. I wasn't a fan of that.
So he's got a flash of Ned Flanders in The Simpsons.
It
feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
It looks like that. It looks like that. It's literally like Tony Stark going like, "Hey Cap, I'm wearing nothing at all." It literally looks like that.
Stupid sexy Stark.
Yeah. I would go robotic because I feel that is more believable.
Okay.
Rather than how it is in the cartoon.
I mean, I guess he does have like rockets
out.
in his shoes and stuff
Exactly.
like that, doesn't he?
So you can still do the flight cape.
Yeah.
Just imagine the Iron Man suit, but all black, without the chest piece, with the horns on it and with those eyes.
So you'd have the long...
have the long horns.
I mean, I guess
and
it
then,
does
and
quite
imagine
define
those
that
two
too, yeah.
eyes, but rather than like the Iron Man shaped eyes, imagine them at like the Batman shape, glowing in the dark. Imagine that, and then it comes out of the shadows with those huge fucking long horns, or even on the top of the building.
Weirdly,
and he can still get the claw things out as well.
Well, weirdly, because there is so in the first Iron Man film you have Obadiah's suit. Bruce does use that kind of thing against ink in that
exactly.
So he actually does have like a much bigger version of the robotic suit. So it would actually make sense that he has a slimmed down teenager version. Weird. So when you say something and you're just like, and it's it would kind of make sense that you would have both kind of a trimmed down, not as powerful but more slick, more faster, that kind of thing. So and then you have a backup hench kind of my tie is getting in the way of this argument kind of suit.
Yeah. Your number one comment on that, on YouTube, your Dave of Celebrity fame here on YouTube. I think that perfectly because really. When they tried to do the Batman Beyond suit in the Arkham Knight game, I got what they were doing, but I was not a fan of it. It looked far too military for me, and I think that just which
they do seem to have a habit of, like obviously, especially in the Nolan universe, everything is militarized, which I guess does kind of make sense because they're trying to make it work in the universe that it is, and it's it's a tank, but it can build bridges, and then it can fire something that makes a bridge pointless,
and then it can fire a bike, and then we also have a thing that flies that looks exactly like it,
and then you have a balloon that goes up that's then caught by a military plane, and then
everything's military.
Yeah. Which I guess does make sense. Like if you're going to make advanced weaponry, you make it for the military. So.
Indeed. But anyway, getting back to a better universe, the 89 universe. Yes, I said it, Internet. 89 universe is a better one than the Nolan one. Bloody comment if you disagree, and say why. Let's keep it civilized.
Is that what you were missing in the Nolan universe? There weren't enough giant statues holding.
Hey, that's Schumacher.
No, that is Schumacher.
That's Schumacher, which was started in Batman Returns. Granted.
Yeah, well, I was thinking. I definitely remember sort of.
But we're talking about 89.
No. Okay, so no buff statues holding things up. Yes.
No buff statues holding things up.
What was? Sorry, slight side note. Was anything ridiculous holding up the observatory that Arnie makes his own?
Yes, it is a big statue.
It is a big statue. I was thinking, I couldn't remember if there was some ridiculous thing holding it up, because the asylum is just a building.
To be honest, it's a big ridiculous thing holding all of those films up. Let's be honest. Anyway, okay, so getting back to this.
Yeah.
So, no, I honestly think just like take the Iron Man suit, put the Batman eyes on it, get rid of the mouthpiece it has. Okay. It's just blank. It's just all black. Night black with those fucking horns. It has the flight cape thing. The cape is red still on the inside.
Would you have the stealth mode as well?
No.
No?
No, I would do away with the stealth mode because I always felt that was a bit too much of a cheat.
Okay, fair enough.
But also I wouldn't include that in the first film anyway.
Okay.
But I think that the whole the fact that it's mechanized as well.
Yeah.
I think also is a nice little bit of a nod to the mechanized suit from Frank Miller's Batman Returns as well, which we didn't get in Batman v Superman because that was just
the
armor.
suit in Batman Beyond is like it's a fiber, but it has like electronics running all the way
it's like
through
underneath it.
Yeah.
I think that, but for me the main problem with that suit is that you wouldn't be able to do the mouth justice in real life.
Okay, fair enough.
Like you couldn't do that, so it's like you just get away from that, and you just completely go with Iron Man, and you can even go against it, so that in times when he's trapped in the room and he's asking Bruce for help over the monitor, you can just have the helmet flip up so it shows the actor's face, because that would be the main problem, that you wouldn't get to see the actor's face a lot. But the only thing
it worked in Dredd.
It worked in Dredd, but then you'd have to have an actor who was willing to do that. But to get around that,
basically you just don't have Sylvester Stallone, and you should be fine.
Oh yes, well we wouldn't have Sylvester Stallone playing a freaking teenager, Terry McGinnis, or would we? But anyway,
of like some weird CGI version.
We'd spend.
Bruce, why are you not having this? Can you go and kill my father?
Alright, okay. We spend our entire budget for this film on de-aging Sylvester Stallone to play a Terry, to then just hide him in a mask the whole time. Yes, God, we know how to make a film.
Oh God.
Anyway, I think I think that's the way forward. That's it. I think you can get around it as well by the flipping.
Yeah.
And as well because he spends a lot of time out of costume as well. So it could be done like that. I think you could easily get around it.
Well, weirdly, it is kind of like it's almost like the Peter Parker version of Batman, isn't it?
Yeah.
He goes to school, but then he also has to live the double life of what he's doing. It's like he becomes your friendly neighborhood Batman.
Pretty much, but not quite in that.
No. But it is. You can see the parallels.
So we have our suit. We use the '89 Batwing, slightly modified,
and the '89 Batman.
And the '89 Batman. So now let's go on to casting. Who would you cast as Terry McGinnis? And we've got our basic plot. It's those two episodes. Okay. We're not skilled enough, but that's what I would base it on. Include the Joker gang in there. Maybe get Ink in as someone else. Okay. Well, I mean. So anyway, okay. Who would you cast as Terry McGinnis?
Oh God. Okay. So we've got. Trying to think who's flavour of the month at the moment, and who's also would probably be quite good for the role. Someone quite young. Who's in something at the moment who's round about 18, 20, that sort of age?
I mean,
who's been in a few good things, or something that you would... Because there aren't that many young people at the moment that are making enough of a name for themselves. Like, there's that weird Butterworth kid, but he's not exactly going to do it. At least I think it's Butterworth.
Right, okay. I'm going to be honest, I don't have an option for this, because I'm quite bad at casting.
I'm just going through my head, because you need someone who...
I'll tell you what, comment.
Who
would do it? Because the only person that I can think of, even though he's not the right age, and I see him much more as a Dick Grayson, is Zac Efron. I think he would be a great Dick Grayson. He would be an awesome Nightwing.
Yeah, but you'd have... But he
wouldn't be a good Terry McGinnis. He wouldn't be a good Terry McGinnis, and I get that.
You know who he's playing in the next film now?
Yes, Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy!
Yeah.
He actually looks pretty good. Like, I watched the trailer.
Ted Bundy does look good. Sorry.
No. I meant Zac Efron playing the role. I was like...
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. That's totally what I meant as well. Yeah, that's totally what I meant. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we need a... we need a Zac Efron-esque slightly, or what's that other kid who was in the Twilight films who played the werewolf guy?
Oh,
it's that thing.
But you couldn't believe, but you couldn't believe that he was Michael Keaton's.
But that's the thing. It's like you're supposed to, or we do what they did with Thingy in Looper. We take an actor who is known for not being Bruce Willis and make him look like Bruce Willis.
Yes, there is that too.
Except you Michael Keaton up. I don't know.
I tell you what, Terry's kind of a bit of a stiff one.
That's a bit of
Let's leave that for the comment section, or just tweet.
So we're looking at Ink then. So we're looking at sort of...
Well, are we sold on Ink? Who would you cast as Powers?
Okay, so Powers, you're looking at about 40 to 50. Oh god, you got a bit more of a choice there, I guess.
Well, that's what I think is far more fun.
Weirdly, do you know who could do it really well?
Timothy Dalton.
No, I was thinking Michael Keaton. I think he'd be very good at the role.
Have Michael Keaton
That would be
play
like a
both
really weird, like playing both characters.
Well, have him with a shaved head for one, and a big false moustache for Powers, and then just have him normal for Bruce Wayne. So it's a disguise.
Oh god.
Yeah. Get like George Clooney or like who's someone who
was
was another Batman.
No, Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's not doing anything at the moment.
No.
I did originally think of Val Kilmer, but I didn't think that he would do it.
I think George Clooney can do something like that, but no.
George Clooney wouldn't.
No.
Would you get Bale? I mean, Bale wouldn't do it, but that would be fun.
How complicated are we going to? How meta are we going to make?
I mean, we're
going to have
really
Nicole
shooting.
Kidman as Ink now, are we?
No. But that brings up another question: who would you have play Commissioner Barbara Gordon?
Oh, of course, because you got an older Barbara Gordon.
Nicole Kidman could do it.
No,
we're just gonna take all of the cast members from the original film.
I mean, you've got your classics. You've got what's her name? You've got Glenn Close would be really good at it. You've got there's a load of sort of like actually you could even what's it called? You could go with what's her name? Who was the one good thing in the fricking
wow.
No, once again, going into another DC universe here, who played
I don't know what
Amanda Waller in
Suicide Squad.
Yes, her character.
Would you pick her? Interesting.
I think she'd be. Once again,
not that I'm saying anything against her a bit. I think.
No,
I think she would be great. I think it would be a very interesting choice. But I just feel that she'd right now for this film she is Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Whereas. Who was I just thinking of? Oh, of course I was thinking of her. I'm always thinking of her. Winona Ryder.
Oh my god, you want Winona Ryder in this, do you?
Why not? She'd make a good Commissioner Barbara Gordon. She would make a good Commissioner Barbara Gordon.
Okay.
I'm just going to say it till it's real.
All right. Well, just okay. Fine. How many other Tim Burtons do you want involved in this? Let's just
no. That's the other thing. So actually. So we're having Kevin Smith writing this.
Okay, we're having Tim Burton directing.
No. We have to have him producing it because Keaton has Keaton's never said that he is adverse to playing this. He's just saying that Tim Burton has to be involved.
Okay.
So Tim Burton has to be a producer.
Okay,
Tim Burton has to be a producer.
So now we have a larger problem.
Who's the director?
No. How do we cast Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter in different roles in this film?
No, he's not.
Because we can't have Helena Bonham
Johnny
Carter.
Johnny Depp's Powers.
What?
He's Powers.
Oh God. No.
And Helena Bonham Carter's Ink. Or Barbara Gordon. There you go. We've fucking done it. There you go.
Okay, right.
There
fine.
we go.
We've
on
fully
board.
Timmed the Burton out of this film now. I think we've agreed.
Now that we've Timmed the Burton out of this film, now who directs our Timmed the Burton film? Because he's just producing it.
Okay. Who? Oh God. Let's just get Robert Zemeckis. I think if it's hard. If we're gonna go whole hog with this. And we'll get Danny Elfman involved. I don't know. I want to say soundtrack, but that seems a bit on the nose.
No, that's a very good point. Would you still keep like the original '89 theme in this, or would you have the '89 theme but done? Do you know how the Batman Beyond theme was sort of? It was done on like that electric guitar, like. Wee. Would you have the Danny Elfman theme just done in that way, on an electric guitar, just all modernised?
God.
Man, you could have so much fun with this film. It would be if we were going to make this, it would bomb so hard.
The problem is,
it would bomb in so much style.
There are two routes you can either do this. There's one route which you just go, right, we've got Michael Keaton involved again, and Tim Burton's producing, and we're just going to make another film, and it's going to be nice and sensible, and we're going to really look at how we're going to do
there's our version.
And there's our version, which is just going to be, fuck it, we are going to Tim the Burton out of the shit out of this film. And it's just like, what's that? We've got Helena Bonham Carter in it. Great, let's shove her in
but
somewhere.
you know what? Everyone would come see our version. That first trailer, fans would just be like, what the fuck is this? I get all the references, but geez, guys. You even kept the theme but did it on an electric guitar with a synth.
No. I tell you what. We need a cameo by Johnny Depp as a flashback when he was going to play the Riddler from. We're going to go so fucking meta because there was so many
just
being the Riddler
or Johnny Depp dressed up as the Riddler is the Riddler in this universe, and then you have Billy D. Williams as the. So you know when you were saying about the training panels.
Oh,
so
God,
Johnny Depp's the Riddler, Billy D. Williams is Two-Face.
Oh God! So then we.
Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Oh no! No, Halle Berry is Commissioner Commissioner Gordon. That might work actually.
I like how in the joke we managed to. Yeah. Okay.
No, I've got obviously.
Who?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Obviously.
She could totally be Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, she could. She could totally be Commissioner Gordon.
So who's Halle Berry going to be now? So we've got to, if we're going to just like ham fist this entire thing, we've got to get her in there somewhere.
Who is going to be? Actually, we don't even know who Terry's going to be. So how can we even choose his main squeeze when we don't know who?
No. I think we sorted CGI young Sylvester Stallone. I think that's
okay.
I'm still in
Halle
way back
Berry.
to this. Okay.
CGI Halle Berry.
As Terry McGinnis.
No, as Tarina McGinnis. No. As his.
Sorry.
Squeeze.
I'm just entirely going on. Tarina.
Why not Tarina? That's a name, right?
No.
It is a name. Yeah, it is.
No, it's just Terry with an I.
Yeah, have it your own way, but I think Tarina sounds better. You're gonna. Anyway,
it sounds like a tureen with an A at the end of it.
Yeah, that's the. Anyway, we're wandering from the point here, which I even forget what it is.
we were Tim Burtoning this thing.
We were.
And now we've expanded into going into the Nolan universe.
I think we've gone a bit too far.
Yeah. This is spiraling badly.
It was just a fun chat that I wanted to bring up, and I think that it's, to be honest, I would very much like to see. Not necessarily exactly what we've carved out.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see what we've carved out. I would love it.
We'd be the only people at the cinema seeing it now. But
which is how we like it.
Which is always how we like it. There's no damn kids.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we don't get into that.
No, but basically, we need to make this film, but only in the same way that Lucas does his own private screenings of films he's made. That's how down the rabbit. We'd have to make a legitimate film series first, then make this, and then get our friends to watch it.
It's a long way in the making. By the time we actually got to making this, no one would.
Okay, sorry, I've got to.
I don't know if Michael Keaton would even still be around to play it by the time we got there.
I've got to Google how old. What's his name was when? No. Okay.
Wait, what?
No, okay, I've got to Google how old George Lucas was when he brought out the first Star Wars film, and then we can.
We can
see how far behind we are.
All right. Okay. Then. Well, I'm going to say that we're pretty far.
Okay.
But
he's 74. Okay. So how?
All right. Okay. You do your. Okay. Well, just do your maths, or just Google it.
Okay. Hang on. So he was born in 19. God, he was born in 1944. Fucking hell. Okay, so he was born in 1944, and that came out in 1977.
I'm not doing any maths here. I can't be bothered. You just
30. No, we've got time. No, we've got time. No, because 44.
Oh my
no.
God.
We've got
right.
Tom. We've got 3 years.
Right. Okay.
We have 3 years, and all we need to do is start making the first of a trilogy that gets us. No, we've got 3 years to get there, mate. We're fine.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Well. Anyway.
And then we can do our version of the Tim Burton.
Let's start with a podcast. And see if we can graduate to a film.
Long fucking way to go.
Yeah, it's a very long way to go to actually get some visuals before anything. But I think this is a very exciting idea, and I love the concept of it. I mean, obviously it's not going to go anywhere, but I think it would be a fantastic time to do an Elseworld Batman story, especially with Batfleck being out, which is a big shame.
Well, also then the DC universe just imploding at the moment.
Oh
God, does that mean we have to? If we're going to make this damn thing, does that mean we have to have Warner Brothers involved?
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. We'd have to have Warner involved. Yeah,
Oh.
it's suddenly a lot less appealing, isn't it?
Oh, I'll just
It's a
call
lot
Nicolas
less
Cage
appealing.
and see if he wants to do a Superman film. I think it might be easy. No!
He could
No!
be powers. He could be
No,
powers.
I am
he
not-
could totally be.
No, we've already Tim the Burton out this film. I'm not releasing the Cage.
Oh man, just if
Nicholas,
the cage,
Nicholas will remain.
if the cage door is open, the beast shouldn't be asleep. But anyway, right. So that's our take on the Batman Beyond film. That's what we do with it, which probably it's a good thing why we don't have any power in this, or any sway in anything whatsoever. But yeah, hope you liked it.
Well, thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, congratulations!
If you would like to contact us, you can do that via Instagram or email. Our email is andnothinghappens@gmail.com, and you can find us on Instagram @andnothinghappens.